What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. Today we bring you the FA Cup final where we take on Spurs for our only shot at silverware this season. Of course, last episode we did the title race. Unfortunately, we fell short of the title. We were beaten by Manchester United to it. So we have one more shot at silverware for this first season, and that is the FA Cup where we take on Spurs. The run itself has been, I'd say, easy. There's quite a few teams that I didn't necessarily expect to be in there. Of course, that could be down to the bug with the team selection that was in the game. Of course, that's now been patched. So next year, we might see sort of big teams get into the later stages. But our run began, I think, back in round 3, was it? Was that the first round we came in? I think it was. I could be wrong, though. Round 2, I don't see us. Yes, it must have been round 3. So we came in round 3. We beat Stoke City by 3-0. Following on from that, we went into round 4, where we would face off against Newcastle. We required a replay against Newcastle, but we beat them in that replay by 1-0. And then round 5 came, where we took on Palace. We beat them by 2-0. Into round 6, we faced Derby County. And like I said, I was looking for championship opponents in our next round, and that's what we got when we took on Leeds United and defeated them by 1-0. Spurs' run, though, a little bit more tricky on their side. In round 3, they faced Salford. Round 4 saw them play against Manchester United, requiring a replay to get through in that one. They won it by 1-0 and then faced Liverpool in round 5, that going to penalties, and Spurs winning on pens. Before in round 6, they were drawn against Wigan, beating them 2-0, and then finished it off with with Everton winning that by 1-0. So that brings us up to date to today's final. The team itself, I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to go with. This currently is what I've got earmarked. So Butland in goal, Rico, Ake, Cook, Stacey, Fraser on the left, Lerma and Cook in the midfield area with Brooks on the right, King and Wilson. Of course, that means Maddison's on the bench. So I'm not really sure at the moment. But before we do that, we've got ourselves a press conference. So we're going to go ahead, enter the press conference. It's the first time we are ever doing one for a cup final. So this could be quite an interesting press conference, let's put it that way. I don't know who the favourites for this final will be. Spurs, I'm not really sure how we've played against them. I know we've drawn 0-0, I think, with them once. You're about to play the FA Cup final. Will we see any squad alterations? We will have to play our best football. I mean, that's not the same question, is it? I missed the first bit of the question, but we are winners. We've won harder matches, or we have to play our best football. We have to play our best football, I'll say. We've faced better opponents before. We will have to hope our football quality will be good enough. Do you believe there is a chance that you'll lose the match? I can't say. The lads will play well. Let's say we don't believe that we will lose the match. We only see us winning it. And then finally, your side have had a bit of a mixed bag in terms of results recently as the manager. How have you reacted to this seemingly erratic path of form, or patch of form, I should say? Do you hope to bring stability to the team's performances? You'll see what we are made of, seems like the best answer there. I'm 100% sure our form will improve, and you'll see what this team is made of soon enough. And so here we are for the FA Cup final. 7 minutes, a half is what we will be playing. Spurs have gone with this. Lloris in goal, Rose, Alderweireld, Varane and Klosterman, with Sessegnon, Lo Celso and Ndombele and Moura lining up the midfield. Eriksen and Dele Alli as the sort of front two advanced midfielders. Harry Kane is out still with a long-term injury for Spurs, so he does not feature. I think I only had to swap around a couple of people for Spurs. It's still a very good team. You can see who they've got on the bench there as well, and like I said, Kane's injury means he does not feature in this one. You've seen our team. I am going to go with what I said I was going to go with, so Maddison is on the bench for us to use if we wish to do so. It's our only shot this season at silverware. It's against Spurs. It's a difficult team to play against in the final. But you can't get silverware gifted to you. You have to go out and you have to win it. And that is exactly what we will have to do right here today. So without further ado, let's head into the FA Cup final. And there it is. There's the trophy on offer for us today. One of these two teams will have that by the end of the game. But who will it be? You saw the run-in that the teams took to get here, but there it is again on the screen. Some interesting results around there. Some interesting teams making it quite far this year. As I said, it might be different next season. But the players to watch, Eriksen for Spurs, 3 goals in his last 3, alongside Joshua King, who also has 3 in his last 3. We are going to need a big performance from King and Wilson today. They've carried us for 90% of this season into that second place in the Premier League, into an FA Cup final. And we now need them again right here today. Fraser will have to play his part as well, though, in this one. He can't be quiet on the left-hand side. So it's going to take a huge display. And I know when I said it earlier on about the fact that I'm not sure who will be favourites, I think Spurs might just edge it because of the fact that you look at the 2 teams on paper, and I think they have a slightly better team than we do. So I think for that purpose alone, they'll probably just edge it. But here is that Spurs 11. You saw it a moment ago. Again, looking at the likes of Ali and Eriksen to be the danger man. Lucas Moura is very, very quick as well. And Ryan Sessegnon on the left-hand side, a very good defence too. It's going to take a lot from us to break that down. Varane and Alderweireld should be quite the partnership indeed. This is the 11, and I actually went with Diego Rico at left-back, not Lloyd Kelly. I thought about that, and obviously Maddison as well is on the bench. So there's a few maybe, I guess, surprise inclusions in there. For example, Lerma. We could have put Phillips in there. He's had a great season, Calvin Phillips, but I've put my faith in that team, so we'll see how it goes. I want to try and control the play as early as possible here to give us that confidence moving forward as Wilson looks for the run of Ryan Fraser. Already looking to get in behind with the pace that we've got here. And that's a nice cut back towards Wilson. And 5 minutes into the FA Cup final, Bournemouth strike. Callum Wilson. Harry Wilson's on the bench. Is the man who's put us in front. But it's great work by Ryan Fraser. It's the pace that we speak about so often. Spurs completely caught unawares. They just did not start the game off focused, did they, at all? Realistically, this was their only worry about the pace in behind, and they didn't do that. Fraser managed to break through the back 4, feeds it back to Wilson, who's completely unmarked. It just seemed like a bit of a tense, nervy start from Spurs. They conceded possession because it was them who had the kick-off, and then after that, didn't seem to track the runners. Just seemed like a very nervy start from them. They need to calm down in the game. For us, though, what a start that is. Again, you see Eriksen a bit nervy on the ball. I'm not quite sure why. But Spurs need to improve and improve fast. As now Lo Celso looking to break through. Lerma trying to go over and stop him. There's a shot from Ryan Sessegnon. Simple for us to have to worry about. Oh, conceded possession there. Jefferson Lerma. And it's not a great pass as we now lose it. Ball over the top. Dele Alli's beaten Ake to it. Oh, this is dangerous. He's bearing down on goal. Dele Alli. And Jack Butland has just... oh, my goodness. Jack Butland has earned his paycheck. That is a huge moment in this FA Cup final. Do you know what? I said it in the last episode. I was a little bit unimpressed recently with Ake's defending. And there again, I'm not so sure as King will find Wilson. Wilson allowed to turn 2. We lost it in the centre with Lerma. And then after that, I honestly expected to see Dele Alli score the goal to equalise the game up. But unbelievable goalkeeping by Jack Butland keeps us in front here. Here's Wilson. Oh, that was meant for King. King had made a great run in behind. And instead, we just didn't see the pass, did we? And now Tottenham come forward again. There's the ball through towards Eriksen. Ake trying to go over. Doesn't really do too well here. And there's the shot. And Butland again is required. Ake's all over the place so far. Got to try and get his head in this final because he's been one of the best performers in this Bournemouth backline this season. But last episode and now this one, he's just not performing as we'd expect. But Jack Butland, who captains the side today, has pulled off 2 very, very good saves. And Tottenham now are looking for a bit of pressure on us here as they send the corner in. And I don't know who's got the final touch. It's come off of King. So it will be another Spurs corner. We have to try and withstand this. Don't allow them back into the game. Eriksen again to deliver. Ake. He's done enough. He's cleared his lines. Ryan Fraser turning, finding Wilson. Wilson turning, finding Fraser. Lovely move again. Fraser towards Wilson. It was a carbon copy of the opener. But this time Wilson didn't quite connect as well as he'd hoped. And it's, in the end, I think, blocked by Alderweireld, is it? It's a nice move. Yeah, Alderweireld's left foot has stopped that going goalwards. And I'm not sure if Lloris actually had it covered. What a move again, though, by Wilson and Fraser. Those two combined brilliantly. Ake trying to win that header. It's sent it towards the box, and Hugo Lloris now has it in his hands. David Brooks for Bournemouth finds the feet of Lerma. Lerma now towards Rico. Nice play again by us. Rico to Fraser. Fraser again skips past his man. Inside the area, brought down. Referee, penalty kick. And it's given Klosterman beaten for pace again by Ryan Fraser. He is causing problems for Spurs. And he's a player I highlighted as we began today. And it is a penalty kick to Bournemouth to make it 2-0. Admittedly, I am not very good at penalties though. So this could be quite interesting. But Klosterman yellow carded as well. Joshua King is the man who's put the ball on the spot for Bournemouth. So it probably will be him who takes this. And we are 38 minutes in, and this is a real chance for Bournemouth 2, Spurs 1. I feel like I want to go to Lloris's right-hand side. I've picked my spot now. I'm not going to change it. So let me go to his right. Joshua King, and he smashes it home. Bournemouth 2, Spurs 0. 40 minutes in, and we are in front now by 2. We've got 2 minutes injury time left of the half. Lewis Cook and Ryan Fraser combine again. Fraser's delivery towards the box. Wilson challenging, and he went down, but nothing given by the referee. It was very close to being another nice move by us, but unfortunately it was defended. Spurs now with a minute left to try and find a goal in this first half, which hasn't yet been their half. And I don't believe it will be, as Lucas Moura's ball through towards Klosterman. Ryan Fraser, not only has he got the beating of him on the attacking side, defensively as well, wins the ball back, says not a chance, mate. And at half-time, Bournemouth 2, Spurs 0 in the FA Cup final. I did not expect us to get in front as early as we did in this one. It was a very nervy start from Spurs. They grew into the half. 2 very good saves by Jack Butland before a penalty converted by Joshua King leaves us at 2-0 at the break. Here is Lucas Moura for Spurs, trying to find a way through this very resilient Bournemouth defence. They're yet to do it. And it remains 2-0. We've got 2 changes ready to come on as well. James Maddison and also Calvin Phillips both ready to come on. So waiting for those changes. But at the moment, Spurs on the attack. Here is Lo Celso finding Ndombele. And the time is ticking away with every pass that goes by as they look for a way through. Dele Alli, look how many bodies are back for Bournemouth. Lovely little ball through. Eriksen now then has nowhere to go, has to feed it back towards Ali. This is good pressure by Spurs, but there's just no way through for them at the moment. You can kind of see just how well we are defending here. Ndombele, Lo Celso, they're trying to pick us off, but we are defending so well. We're not getting dragged out either. Here is Sessegnon from distance. Jack Butland will have those all day long as we waste a bit more time before smashing it clear as well. Get it down the pitch is the call. There's only a minute left. In fact, those changes might not even come through, the 2 that we have made, if this doesn't go out of play the ball. Eriksen manages to get there ahead of Fraser. That's offside. And now the changes will be made with 30 seconds remaining on the clock. So, fairly pointless. But what a performance we have put in here. Major props for that first half from Jack Butland. He certainly kept us in front at 1-0. And then King holds his nerve from the spot, and after that the second half was just professional. It was sensational, and Bournemouth are FA Cup champions. Ryan Fraser with the man of the match performance. Wilson with an 8 match rating as well. Of course, the goal coming from Wilson, and then 1 from King from the spot. Assist-wise, Fraser with the only assist in the game. But it was a really good performance from us. For Spurs, their best performer was Eriksen and Lo Celso. Lo Celso with a 7.2. It was a pretty close game, actually. There wasn't a lot separating the two sides. You can see there, match facts, not a lot in it. But on the day, we came out victorious for our first ever trophy as Bournemouth boss. Into our interview then, and we can see what the questions are going to be like, because I've never done one following on from a final, so I don't know what it looks like. But there is confirmation. Bournemouth FA Cup winners. So I've at least won something this first season. I've managed to do what I set out to do, which was to win a cup competition. I never expected us to be top 2 in the Premier League. Of course, like I said before, that could be down to the poor performances of some of the other big teams who were fielding weaker lineups until the patch came in. But everyone was impressed with the level of confidence that your boys show. Were you expecting such a clear victory over Spurs? We won the final. We're true professionals. One big step for AFC Bournemouth. We won the final. We wouldn't be here without the confidence and hard work of the players. They're unstoppable champions, and they showed that against Tottenham today. Brooks is continuing his hot run of form. I wouldn't have said he was that fantastic in that game, to be honest. It was all about Ryan Fraser. But let's not get carried away. Finally, you were able to close the game out before half-time. Are you pleased with how things looked for your side in the second half? We deserve this result. I'm a little bit annoyed, really. There isn't more questions about winning the final and talking about personal feelings and that, and how you feel about winning the final. But I guess that's the case. So yeah, interview done. Didn't feel that much different to any other normal interview. But look at our manager rating, 99. The board are loving it right now. That's incredible to see. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take a quick look at the team with the rest of today's episode and talk about sort of my plans moving into next season, because it's going to be a huge year. We're into the Champions League. Like I said, there might be a resurgence of some of the other teams in the league who kind of find their form again now that the patch has come in. So we'll talk through that. Let's get into the squad report. So here we are then for the final squad report of the season. Moving into next year, I don't plan on making too many changes to the team unless we let players go or anything like that. I've got quite a big squad and a lot of youth players coming through as well. So Jack Butland will very much, in my eyes, remain my number 1. He'll probably get given the number 1 shirt as well. Ramsdale will play backup. I have plans to maybe let Travers go. Whether or not that's on loan or if he goes permanently, we'll have to see. Hennessy as well is going out on loan, and Wright is leaving the club permanently. He is off to Ireland, I believe, to play in their league. Rico at left back is one of the players I might be letting go. Charlie Daniels leaves us on because his contract is because his contract is expiring, not retiring. So he's leaving as his contract is up. So is Brad Smith. So we move into the left back spot. We've got Rico, we've got Kelly, and we've got Mulder. And ahead of next year, I actually do plan on bringing in a left back, which means Mulder's going out on loan. We've already, I believe, accepted a deal to take him away, I think. Let me have a quick look at that. Yeah, he's going to Huddersfield on loan. I should probably keep it on this screen so you guys can see. So Rico and Kelly, between them, one of them is going. I just haven't decided who yet. So leave me a comment who you would think or who you would personally get rid of. Because I have a plan to bring in a left back in the next window. So, yeah, one of those is going. Centre-backs wise, I will be bringing in a centre-back as well. We've got Steve Cook, we've got Ake, we've got Metham. Simpson, I believe, is going to be leaving. He is transfer listed, and Fofana is loan listed, so the chances are he'll be going too. So I'll be bringing in at least one centre-back, potentially maybe 2. I've not yet decided whether or not I'll keep Metham, Ake, and Cook. I think Cook will stay. But Ake and Metham, I'm not sure about right now. Into right back, we've got Stacey, we've got Smith. Stacey is definitely staying. I've been impressed with him this year. He's up by 8 ratings as well to 78 overall. So Stacey is going to be my starting right back next year too in the Champions League as well. And I think Smith is good enough backup. But I might bring in a right back. Kouame here is a player that I'm looking at training. He's 6'1". He's got a 5-star weak foot. He's come for our youth academy as well. So I'll be definitely training him. So I might be able to get him to a rating where he can play backup. Jefferson Lerma, Calvin Phillips as the 2 CDMs. Lerma's definitely staying. Phillips is definitely staying. Lerma I'm not sure about right now. I've been happy with him, but if an offer is right, I would be open to letting him leave the club. Ryan Fraser, sensational season. There's no way he's going. Stats-wise, he scored 14 in all competitions. Well, 10 in the Premier League, 6 assists as well. 7.6 match rating in the Premier League. There's no way he's going. He's definitely staying at the club. Dan Juma is going to be leaving. He's already told me about his playtime. He wants to go and get playtime elsewhere. So he will be one of the players who leaves us. Dobre is definitely going to be leaving. He's transfer listed. Lewis Cook will be staying. Butcher is going on a contract expiry. So he'll be going. Reese is going out on loan. Harry Arter's coming back and he'll be leaving the club instantly when he does come back. He'll be transfer listed. Every one of our youth academy prospects are all loan listed. So they probably will be going to get some first team football elsewhere. Offbora should be leaving. He's transfer listed. We'll see if we can get him. We'll see if we can let go of him in the window. Philip Billing, I thought was on loan, but it's not. He's here permanently. So yeah, I'm not sure about Billing. We'll see what happens with him. Heineman's going. Gosling will be going. I should be transfer listing Gosling right now. Van Dam will be going on loan. Taylor's going, I think, too. Alongside that, we've got Madison definitely staying. He is an integral part of the future of this club. As is Thiago Almada, who's got up to 78 right now as well. So he's growing very nicely. Brooks will be staying. Dylan is going out on loan. Wilson, he's leaving. He goes back to Liverpool. Jesus, loan. King, staying. Surridge will be going on a permanent basis. Defoe retires at the end of the year. This guy will be leaving on a transfer. Solanke, I'm going to be honest. I just don't see a future for him at the club. Castro, Abraham's on loan, but he'll stay for another year. And finally, Callum Wilson, who will be staying. So pretty much, out of all those players, I know I've just been speaking for a long period of time, I only really plan on bringing in defenders. I feel like attack-wise, we've been good this year. I don't need to make too many drastic changes. We've got Almada coming through as well, who I will be focusing most of the training on next season to get him to a really good overall. It's just maybe a centre-back or two, a left-back and a right-back, really. Maybe another goalkeeper. So just defensive areas we're looking to strengthen. Of course, we've got some pre-contracts coming through as well. We have got we've got Cavani joining on a pre-contract. We're still yet to decide what we do with him. We have got Nkulu joining as well at centre-back. So yeah, we've got some players joining us next season. So what I'm going to do now is, as we end off this first season, I'm going to show you a couple of other leagues, who's won what and all that stuff. And then I'll show you the transfer budget before we sign off today's episode. Of course, I won't show you every single league, but we'll start off with the championship. There is a visual bug as well. So I'm not sure which number equates to which bit of the table. But I'm guessing that they finished on 101 points with Fulham on 100. So Leeds and Fulham coming up with Derby, Huddersfield, Brentford and Stoke fighting it out in the playoffs. So I don't know who is going to join them in the Premier League next season. Into the French League, PSG won it, I believe. Yes, they did, finishing top in that one. Understandable. Into the Bundesliga, where it was Bayern, who I think went undefeated in this one with 100 points in the Bundesliga. So they win that. Into Serie A, it is Juventus, who only lost one game in the Serie A this season, finishing on 109 points, which is a ridiculous amount. The Eredivisie was won by Ajax. They finished undefeated in their league as well, so a lot of undefeated leagues going on. The Liga NOS was Porto, who yet again finished without a single defeat. Into the Scottish Premiership, it's Celtic, who topped that. Rangers 11 points behind them. And finally, La Liga, which is, of course, the Spanish league. Barcelona winning it again, undefeated, unless I'm reading the table wrong. But that is incredible if that's the case. There's so many undefeated teams around the world, it seems like. And I don't think there's anything else for me to really show you. So that brings to a close this first season of Career Mode. I want to thank you so much for all of your support over this first season. I will move ahead now into the next year so we can check out our budget, and I'll sign off the rest of the episode. We have gone into the new season just to check out the transfer budget, and it sits at nearly £100 million. The Bournemouth board have given us nearly £100 million to spend. I don't know where they've got the money, but I'm not going to complain at all. Nearly £100 million. Are you crazy? the amount that I can do with that. That's like 3 really good players that can improve this team. But just to let you know, the pre-contract signings are now here. Benitez is here. He will play backup, of course, to Butland. So that takes out, I forgot we even got Benitez. So that takes out the need for me to go out and pick up another goalkeeper, which means Ramsdale might leave. Cavani's here as well. I will leave a little poll at the top right-hand side of this video for you to decide whether or not we should be allowed to use Edison Cavani this season. So that's over to you to decide. He is a little bit slower than I would have liked, but he's still very, very good as a striker. And then finally, Nkulu is here as well as a backup centre-back. So yeah, I think I only need to pick up 1 centre-back. So a right-back, a left-back, and a centre-back seems to be what we are looking for this new season. If you have enjoyed today's episode, though, a like would be greatly appreciated. A massive thank you for all of your support on the channel as well. I really appreciate that. If you aren't already and like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below to follow me on the channel. Leave your suggestions for new signings below. And just note as well, guys, I am currently away in Madrid for the League of Legends World Championships. So if I don't reply to any of your comments, or if there is a delay between this episode and the next one, that is the reason why. But it gives you time to leave some comments and all of that good stuff. So until the next episode, I'm very excited about Season 2 here with Bournemouth in the Champions League. 100 million to spend, a lot of stuff to look forward to. Until next time, have a great day, have a great evening. I'll catch you again soon. Adios.